Hello, everybody. Are y'all having a good time? Like, man, this is a lot, right? Can we give it up? Hey. So, y'all, one of the things that I just want to tell you that's important to all of us who are involved in the future of food at South by Southwest is that we really challenge you to think about what and how you define the future of food. So if you notice, no panel is the same, everyone is different, so I'm so very happy that we have Janice with us today. Janice has a track record here in the Austin area that just cannot be overemphasized enough. She's had projects such as the Mentor Method, and right now, what we really want to focus in on is that Janice is the first Black woman in Austin to exit. So we're so proud to hear her. So yeah, that is a feat. Woo! So we're so happy to give her this highlight so that she can share with us not only her story, but her project right now is called Calibrate. And there's an awesome reception brunch that's going on Sunday. But again, we wanted to give her space that's dedicated to her for her to share with y'all how she does what she does and why her data-driven decisions, that's a part of her earmark of how she does her projects, what that means. So Janice, happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so when we think Calibrate, tell people what Calibrate means. Like, how did it come into being?
Yes, so Calibrate Wellness is a legal cannabis company. We make vegan, gluten-free, drama-free edibles that are meant to honor the body. So everything is organic, chef-made. My co-founder is Chef Nick Yanis of Juniper and Uncle Nicky's. It's really nice to now move out of making them in my kitchen and now in chef's proper actual kitchen. But the way that Calibrate Wellness came to be was, as you mentioned, in my past life, I had a tech company called the Mentor Method. That's actually how I moved to Austin 5 years ago. Incredible journey. Sold the company last fall. Before that, raised $1.6 million, making me one of the first 100 Black women to raise over $1 million in U.S. history. Thank you. And then other incredible opportunities with customers like Amazon, Department of Education, one of Entrepreneur Magazine's 100 Women of Influence last year. And that took a lot of work. And also, now that I have sold the company, I can say a lot of cannabis because it was stressful. You know, it's a lot of work. Building a tech company and just existing as a Black woman right now takes a lot of work. And I was looking for something that wasn't going to be habit forming, something that would help take the edge off but wouldn't knock me out completely. Yeah. And what I realized is that there were so many people that wanted the same thing. They didn't want this like 700 calorie brownie that would make them lie on the couch all day because they have things to do, pitch decks to build.
That's the stereotype, right?
I mean, well, it's the stereotype, but also the market.
Yeah.
You know, I've never thought to myself, in order to calm down, I want to grind up some horse hooves and gelatin and sugar and cannabis, and that's the tool I'm going to use to unwind. I wanted something that actually aligned to my lifestyle and something that would actually fit into my day-to-day practice as a daily cannabis user, and I couldn't find it. So Chef Nick and I created it.
So what they say, the genius is always creating something that you have a need of. So I love that. That's in this most practical way. So one of the things that really resonated that I wanted you to bring out is that grief was a way that you were thinking about Calibrate. And I know that one of the themes this weekend for us is food as medicine.
Right.
And so when we talked to you, that was one of the first things we thought about is how your product is defining food as medicine in a very unique and creative way.
Yeah, thank you. So for context, what Q's referring to is I lost my mom to pancreatic cancer towards the end of 2018 when I had just moved here. So with no friends, no family, building a tech startup, it was a lot. You know, I didn't really have the tools that would help me adjust. And when I went to the doctor asking for recommendations on a therapist, they were like, you don't need one, just take Wellbutrin, the antidepressant instead. And I was like, well, that doesn't feel Quite right, but took it for 5 days. I kept feeling jittery and out of my body. And they're like, no problem, just take a Zoloft to go to bed. And they wanted me on this perpetual cycle that my intuition was telling me that that's not what I needed.
Yes.
And that was really alarming.
Love that.
But your question was around how we use food as medicine. I mean, that's how we all started,
Yeah.
right? Like when you're an infant, food is so important, your nutrition is so important. It's how we get up every day, it's how we do the things that we do on a daily basis. And when it comes to incorporating cannabis as a part of that, it's just adding it into your daily lifestyle, whatever that looks like for you. If it's a dollop of Calibrate coconut oil in your morning smoothie, which I did today, you know,
That's
it's really
why you
helpful.
look so refreshing and fabulous.
Maybe. I just love our product. But, you know, there are so many ways to infuse healthy food with a healthy plant when used safely. It's just a matter of educating people on proper dosages, what to do so that you don't get the spins and all of these other aspects to it.
Sure. So, like, I would probably classify what you're doing as non-traditional.
Yeah.
So what roadblocks can you offer to people in the audience of when you're trying to build something that's maybe not that traditional food item in the ecosystem?
Ask yourself who cares.
Ooh,
Quite
honey.
honestly.
Oh, wait, yes.
Like, if you have the right
Yes.
team around you, if you feel it, like for me, I can only speak to my own experience with Calibrate Wellness. I feel it in every fiber of my being every single day that we are creating something that is actually helping people. We have customers that are pastors. We have people that have run for office and won and haven't won in this past election. We have people that are, you know, entering into menopause, people that haven't been intimate with their partners in 6 months, but had an edible and finally was able to engage with their partners in that
That's
way.
powerful.
Exactly, and when you see that and you see that it's just something that you love, that you're now able to give to other people in a way that destigmatizes cannabis and makes it art and makes it something that's honored and actually like a practice of radical self-love, I mean, it's really easy to get invested in it.
Love that. So what roadblocks, like, do you see that you really, or sorry, not roadblocks, advances, do you see in food and wellness that is exciting you right now? Or someone with your background and just like experiences?
I'm excited that we have all finally agreed that gimmicks like skinny tea and those get fit quick and, you know, quote unquote health-based products that are really all just sugar and manufactured and not actually good for you are not health category items. It's really refreshing to now have space for real items that are organic, plant-based, anti-inflammatory. And I think the biggest piece of that is that companies are now listening to the consumer and asking, like, what do you want? What do you do on a daily basis? How do you want to feel when you consume our products, whether it's crickets, whether it's cannabis? It's great to see that we're being mindful of the actual consumer's experience now and being respectful of that.
Can you imagine that?
Novel concept.
So Janice, one thing that I just love is that we're in flow with you, that it's about the education of it, not just shoving it to people and saying, well, we need you to like this just to like it, like, right? It really does matter that they're educated about that. So just as we have the last, minute or two here, how can people find you? What is on your radar with Calibrate? And again, we look forward to seeing you on Sunday for the brunch. So what would you like to share with the audience just in this last minute or two?
I would like to share that cannabis is a growing market. 37% of women try it and are still hiding it. And that's because there is that stigma that if you consume cannabis, you're not ambitious, you're not professional, you don't care about your family, you just want to rest on a lily pad and do absolutely nothing, and that's not true. It's really not the case. Steve Jobs, Jay-Z, various other very successful entrepreneurs have cited cannabis as a tool that they've used, and the more that we can open up access to it, that's really important. I would also say, as a Black woman with a Black woman-owned company in the cannabis space, it is not lost on me that there are hundreds of thousands of people that look like me that are currently incarcerated for minor cannabis infractions.
Amen.
And so as we build our edibles and with everybody that consumes them, I'm very grateful and honored to be standing on the shoulders of those that paved the way, and that this work doesn't end with just future of food. There's more in terms of the vision of Calibrate, being able to play a role in destigmatizing that, being able to play a role in legislation. That's really important. And in terms of getting a hold of us, you can visit our website, www.shopcalibrate.com. You can also find us on Instagram @shopcalibrate, and I look forward to giving you some radical self-love via our incredible edibles.
Woo! Love it. Y'all, we hope you were informed and educated, and this is the future of food, an example of it.